So, we are going to discuss chapter 2, Diversity in the Living World, because we have completed chapter 1, and chapter 1 is like very refreshing. The wonderful world of science. ये हमने कर लिया है, रीड कर लिया है. We are simply just reading the NCERT books on this channel. After I will decide or we will decide what we will do next. अगर आप लोग कमेंट करेंगे कि इसको डिस्कस किया जाए और इसको थोड़ा और अच्छे वे में समझाया जाए तो हम समझेंगे भी, उसे भी करेंगे. बट पहले हम रीड करते हैं सिंपली, ठीक है. So we are going to start chapter 2, Diversity in the Living World. There is a quote. I'm not going to discuss this. You have to read this and try to understand this. This is your homework. Okay? Now this chapter is starting from here. It is a pleasant morning after yesterday's refreshing rain. Dr. Raghu and Maniram चाचा, जिसको हम अंकल भी बोलते हैं, हैव बीन इनवाइटेड टू द स्कूल बाय द साइंस टीचर मैडम सुलेखा to facilitate an exciting nature walk. Dr. Raghu is a scientist at the nearby research laboratory and Maniram Chacha is an elderly person from a nearby community. Maniram Chacha is an expert in mimicking bird calls. Mimicking मतलब किसी जानवर की नकल करना. यहाँ तो जानवर के बर्ड के बारे में बोला गया है कि उसकी नकल करना, उसकी आवाज़ की नकल करना. He is also brilliant at identifying a variety of plants and animals. ठीक है, मनीराम चाचा हैं जो एक्सपर्ट हैं जानने में, पहचानने में एनिमल्स और प्लांट्स को. टू प्रिपेयर देम फॉर द nature walk, Dr. Raghu informs the students that the objective of this walk is to experience the beauty and variety of plants and animals in the nature. The students are excited to join them. They are curious to interact and learn from them. The teacher advises the students to carry a notebook, a pen, and a water bottle. As they walk, they begin exploring the plants and animals around them. Dr. Raghu advises the students to notice the variety of smells in the park and emphasizes respecting all the living creatures and observing them without disturbing. Maniram Chacha tells the students to not only observe different plants and animals but also to carefully listen to different sounds. Okay, the students come across a variety of plants including grasses, bushes, and large trees. They also observe a variety of birds sitting on the branches of trees, butterflies moving from flower to flower, and monkeys jumping from one tree to another. They record their observations in their notebooks and discuss them with Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha. The students can hear the chirping of birds, मतलब उनका चहकना, birds का चहकना. Dr. Raghu informs them that each bird has a unique chirp. This is an example of diversity in nature. Dr. Raghu requests Maniram Chacha to mimic calls of some birds. Maniram Chacha mimics different bird calls. The students enthusiastically start copying him. Have you ever observed different plants and animals around you? Share and discuss your observations with your friends and teacher. Getting this? Okay, now there is an activity. We will not discuss this. We will directly jump to the next page because these are the observation that you will do in your garden. You can do in your garden. This is a grass, this is tulsi leaf, हिबिस्कस, वो ये सब बहुत जनरल प्लांट्स हैं जो आपको कहीं भी देखने को मिल जाएंगे. ये आपके ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं, आप खुद इसको पढ़ो ना, तब आप ज़्यादा सीखोगे. नाउ ये तो हो गए हमारे ऑब्जर्वेशंस. लेट्स स्टार्ट रीडिंग फ्रॉम हियर. ओके, व्हाट आर द, अब जो तुमने ऑब्जर्व किया है अपने गार्डन में, उसी से कुछ सीखो. ये एक्सपेरिमेंट वैसा ही है. What are the similarities and differences among the animals that you have observed and recorded in table 2.2? देखो इसमें क्या तुमने किया है. You would have observed that some animals live on land while some others live on trees. Birds live on trees. Fish live in water, and some animals like frogs live on land as well as in water. Animals consume a diverse range of foods and exhibit a variety of movements. Sketch the plants and animals observed by you in your notebook or prepare a scrapbook with leaves. एक बुक होता है ना जिस पे हम अपनी सारी वो आर्टिस्टिक चीज़ें भी लिखते हैं, बनाते हैं, वो वैसा टाइप का एक बुक लो. उसमें तुम अलग अलग ट्रीज़ के ये पत्ते जो होते हैं वो लगा के फिर उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके ये लीव है, किस ट्रीज से रिलेटेड है, कैसी लीव है. सॉरी. तो ऐसा भी कर सकते हो. इट्स क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग. Flowers from different plants and feathers from animals. Write all details you have gathered from them. It is actually an experiment. You can experiment it. तो ये सारे हैं. ये भी एक तरीके का एक्टिविटी ही है जो कि आप कर सकते हो अपने फ्रेंड के साथ मिल के. Each member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, trees provide food and shelter to some birds and other birds. Animals help in spreading seeds after eating fruits, and so on. Can you think of more such examples? This shows that plants and animals are dependent on each other. Yes, of course, we are living on the same planet. So हम लोग तो एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड रहेंगे ही. हाउ टू ग्रुप प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स. देखो यहाँ फिर एक एक्टिविटी दी गई है, तो यहाँ से हम पढ़ना शुरू करते हैं. यहाँ पे ये एक्टिविटी फिनिश हो रही है यहाँ से. You will be surprised to see that the bases used by different groups may vary. What do you think are the reasons behind it? Different students might have chosen different common features for the grouping. For example, some students may have chosen the height of plants as the basis for grouping, while others might have chosen presence or absence of flowers as the basis or grouping of plants. सबके ऑब्जर्वेशंस और एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ऑब्जर्वेशन का अलग अलग हो सकता है. ओके, नाउ वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट. You may have grouped animals based on varied features such as what they eat, where they live, what color they are and how they move. सबके अलग अलग ऑब्जर्वेशन होंगे. एनिमल्स के भी आप कोई एक बेस उठा लो कि एक एनिमल कैसा दिखता है, क्या खाता है, कहाँ रहता है, लाइक दैट. व्हाट इज़ द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ ग्रुपिंग. क्या है इसका मतलब, ग्रुपिंग का मतलब क्या है, क्या ज़रूरत है इसकी. ग्रुपिंग मेक्स इट ईजियर टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड स्टडी प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर सिमिलैरिटीज़ एंड डिफरेंसेस. ठीक है, हम इससे पता लगाएंगे कि किसमें क्या किससे जो एनिमल हैं वो प्लांट से कितने डिफरेंट हैं, या प्लांट्स में भी दूसरे प्लांट्स उन दोनों में क्या डिफरेंसेस हैं या सिमिलैरिटीज़ हैं। इससे ग्रुपिंग से हमें ये पता चल जाएगा, इसीलिए ग्रुपिंग को इतना वैल्यू दी गई है इस चैप्टर में। यू विल लर्न मोर अबाउट द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ ग्रुपिंग in our daily lives in the chapter materials around us। नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में हम पढ़ेंगे हाउ टू ग्रुप प्लांट्स। अब देखो प्लांट्स को हम कैसे इसको ग्रुपिंग कर सकते हैं, ग्रुप में डाल सकते हैं। यू मस्ट हैव नोटिस्ड दैट प्लांट्स शो variation in the features related to stems, leaves, flowers and more. The stems of different plants vary in thickness, height and hardness, while the leaves vary in shape, color, size and arrangement. Okay, you might have tried grouping the plants in activity 2.3 using one of these features। तुमने ट्राई किया होगा। You might have also learned in earlier classes that plants can be grouped into herbs, shrubs and trees based on their height and types of stem. Let us study the features of plants in more detail and group them on that basis। Okay, this is the activity number 4। Okay, this is the grouping of plants based on height and features of a stem। You can read this now। Read this। What differences do you observe among herbs, shrubs and trees? How can you group plants and shrubs, trees based on the data entered in this? Some plants grow really tall and have hard, thick, brown and woody stems. Their branches typically start higher up on the stem and away from the ground. These plants are called trees। ठीक है, ट्रीज़ कैसे होंगे, उनकी जो फीचर्स होंगे वो जो हार्ड होगा, थिक होगा, ब्राउन होगा, जो उनका वुडी स्टेम होगा, ये सब इसके अकॉर्डिंग तुम उसको ट्री वाले ग्रुप में डाल सकते हो। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अ मैंगो ट्री। सी दिस इज़ द पिक्चर। अभी इस पे हमारे लोकल लैंग्वेज में बोलते हैं इस ट्री पे मंजर आया है, धीरे धीरे फ्रूट भी आएगा। फ़िलहाल तो भी फ्रूट का ही सीजन चल रहा है। आम तो बहुत खा रहे होगे आप लोग। ये है श्रब, ये है हर्ब। ठीक है, नाउ वी आर मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट पेज। ओके, some plants are not as tall as trees. These plants often have many brown woody stems that start branching very close to the ground। मतलब उनके प्लांट ना, जो प्लांट होते हैं कुछ ऐसे प्लांट जो ग्राउंड में ही बढ़ने लगते हैं, ज़्यादा ऊपर नहीं उठते हैं। These stems are hard but not as thick as the stem of a tree. These plants are called shrubs। For shrub भी बोलते हैं, कितना लोग shrubs भी बोलते हैं। For example, a rose plant in a shrub। Okay, जो रोज़ का प्लांट है, अभी हमने पीछे वाले पिक्चर में ये इसमें देखा, ये एक तरीके का श्रब है। Some plants are typically small with soft and green stems. These are known as the herbs। For example, a tomato plant is a herb। ग्रीन होते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा मजबूत नहीं होते हैं, इसीलिए इसको herbs में रखा गया। Some plants with weak stems need support to climb and grow and are called climbers। कुछ को सपोर्ट चाहिए आगे ग्रो करने के लिए, वो क्लाइंबर्स होते हैं। सम प्लांट्स क्रीप अलोंग द ग्राउंड एंड आर कॉल्ड क्रीपर्स। जो ज़मीन पे ही ऐसे ऐसे उनकी जो स्टेम्स है वो फैल जाते हैं, वो क्रीपर्स हो गए. What can be other features on the basis of which you can group plants? Let us perform another activity. अब हम यहाँ another activity perform कर रहे हैं. Look at the leaves. Okay? Now, read this para. In some leaves, you can observe a net-like pattern of veins on both side of a thick middle vein. vein मतलब देखो मेरी नसें दिख रही हैं ना, ये vein है. ठीक है, वैसे ही प्लांट्स में भी, प्लांट्स के लीव्स में भी होते हैं. दिस पैटर्न इज कॉल्ड अ रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन. ओके, क्या बोलते हैं? रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन. यस, आई हैव अ पेंसिल हियर एंड आई विल अंडरलाइन दिस. आई एम अ लेफ्टी. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लीव्स ऑफ हिबिस्कस exhibit reticulate venation. ओके, ये क्या हो गया? जो हिबिस्कस का जो वो है ना, वो लीव है, पत्ते जो हैं वो कैसे हैं? एकदम ऐसे ही है, रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन. इन सम लीव्स यू मे ऑब्जर्व दैट द वेन्स रन पैरेलल. दिस पैटर्न इज कॉल्ड पैरेलल वेनेशन. एक होता है, ये देखो, ये हिबिस्कस के ऐसे जा रहे हैं ना, ये रेटिकुलेट वेनेशन है. और जो हमारा किसका हो गया इसमें, इन सम लीव्स यू मे ऑब्जर्व दैट वेनेशन रन पैरेलल. ये पैरेलल हो गया, ये बनाना लीव है, इसको पैरेलल वेनेशन बोलते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द लीव्स ऑफ बनाना प्लांट्स एंड ग्रास एग्जिबिट पैरेलल वेनेशन. ये सेम ही कर रहे हैं, इसीलिए इनका पैरेलल वेनेशन है. Do you think that plants can be grouped on the basis of venation present in their leaves? अब ये भी एक ग्रुप बनाने का, प्लांट्स का ग्रुप बनाने का ये भी एक तरीका हो सकता है कि उनकी पत्तियों में कैसे वेन्स हैं. ठीक है. Now let us try to explore roots of the plants. Do all plants have roots? Are these roots similar? ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे फिर एक एक्सपेरिमेंट किया गया है जिससे पता चलेगा कि क्या सारे प्लांट्स के रूट सेम होते हैं. लेट्स नो दिस. यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं इसको पढ़ना. केयरफुली ऑब्जर्व द रूट्स ऑफ अ मस्टर्ड प्लांट इन, इसमें ठीक है. The roots of this plant consist of one main root and a small side roots arising from it. The main root is called taproot. Another, this is the important line, the main root is called taproot. Another example of a plant having taproots is hibiscus, observed by you in activity 2.1. The plant in figure 2.5b is a common grass plant. Okay, the root of this plant appear as a bunch of similar sized thin roots arise from the base of the stem. Okay, such roots are called fibrous roots. Fibrous roots. Does your collection include any other grasses? What kind of roots do you have? यहाँ पे भी is there any relation between the type of leaf venation and the type of root of the same plant? How do you find this out? यहाँ पे फिर एक है. Now move to the next para. We are leaving this because it will take too much time to explain this. Okay, do you observe any, but you have to read this, you are not supposed to quit it. Okay, do you observe any relation between the leaf venation and types of root in these plants? A sadabahar plant has a tap root and its leaves have reticulate venation. Do other plants with reticulate venation have tap roots too? Lemongrass, on the other hand, has fibrous roots and its leaves have parallel venation. Do other plants with parallel venation have fibrous roots too? Generally, plants with reticulate venation have tap roots while other with parallel venation have fibrous roots. Chickpea, जिसको हम लोग चना भी बोलते हैं, is another example of a plant with tap roots and reticulate venation in leaves. ठीक है. Wheat is an example of a plant with fibrous roots and parallel venation in its leaves. Now we are moving towards the next page. Is there any relation among the seeds of a plant, types of root and leaf venation? Leaf venation, all seeds similar? यहाँ पे फिर एक एक्टिविटी से समझाया गया है. ठीक है. Now read this. Okay. You would notice that chickpea seeds are split into two. बट जाना split मतलब into two parts. Each part is called a cotyledon. इसको बोलते हैं cotyledon. Where is the pencil? Yes, here it is. I am a little bit भुलक्कड़. इसको बोलते हैं cotyledon. Plants that have seeds with two cotyledons are called dicotyledons. इसको बोलते हैं dicots. Maize, जिसको हम लोग मकई बोलते हैं, has a single thin cotyledon. Plants with such seeds are called monocotyledons, यानी monocots. What relation do you observe among leaf venation, root types and number of cotyledons in seeds of a plant? Dicot plants have reticulate venation and tap root system, while monocot plants have parallel venation and fibrous root system. You have learnt about some features used for grouping plants. Now let us explore the grouping of animals in more detail. ठीक है. How to group animals. अब एनिमल को हम कैसे ग्रुप करेंगे, यहाँ पे तो एक और एक्टिविटी दी गई है जिसके थ्रू हम समझ सकते हैं. फर्स्ट रीड दिस. ओके. Just like plants, animals too are significantly different from one another. How can we group such a wide variety of animals? अब एक दो एनिमल तो है नहीं इस प्लैनेट पे. There are too many animals. तो ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं है. लेट्स सी कैसे इसको ग्रुप करते हैं. What features can you think of to group them? In activity 2.3 you have already set some bases for grouping animals. Let us explore a few of this in more detail. अब यहाँ डिटेल से इसको दिया गया है. अब इस टेबल को आप लोग पढ़ेंगे, इस एक्सपेरिमेंट को, एक्टिविटी को, फिर इसको भी अच्छे से समझेंगे. देन वी विल रीड दिस. ओके. सॉरी. Now the next para is what conclusion you draw from the data given in the table. This. Different animals have different types of movement. Animals can fly, run, crawl, walk, hop or jump and so on. They use different body parts for moving from one place to another. They may use wings, legs and other parts that help them to move. Here We have identified animals based on the types of movement and the body parts used for movement. How can you group animals based on their movements? Additionally, many animals differ from each other in shape, size, structure, color, and other features. Some of these features can also be used to group animals in various ways, like plants. Grouping of animals is important for understanding their diversity. There is a scientist, yes, नो अ साइंटिस्ट, इनका नाम है जानकी अमान अमाल. ओके, जानकी अमाल was an Indian botanist dedicated to environmental work and helped to document and preserve India's rich plant biodiversity. She played a key role in the Save Silent Valley movement. As the head of the Botanical Survey of India, she initiated programs to document the plant diversity of India. Great. Next page. Success story. Save Silent Valley movement. क्या था ये? आओ पढ़ते हैं. This is a real story of a forest in the Palakkad district of Kerala. It is about preserving untouched beauty of a moist evergreen forest and its rich biodiversity. The now famous Silent Valley was saved by a remarkable movement led by common people who were not even residing in the vicinity of the forest. The battle against the proposal of a hydroelectric dam across the Kunthi-Puza, whatever you pronounce, river persisted for 10 years. At that time, people used all possible available means such as widespread awareness programs, letters to editors, articles in newspapers, seminars, and petitions and appeals in court. The movement was successful in saving the Silent Valley. Okay, लोगों ने बचा लिया साइलेंट वैली को. Plants and animals in different surroundings. अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग तरीके के plants और animals हैं. चलो उसी को पढ़ते हैं फिर से. You might have observed during nature walks that different animals live in different surroundings. Yes, of course. You have also recorded movement of animals in table 2.5. Does the movement of these animals depend upon their surroundings? Let us consider fishes and goat as examples. Fishes live in water. They have streamlined bodies and fins for movement in water. Goats live in grassy area and move with the help of legs. The sizes and shapes of animals also differ from one another. Okay, you can see in the picture, like this is the picture. Now we are moving towards the next page. This is the again activity. We will read from here. Let's read it. What are your observations regarding plants and animals found in various regions? Comment down below. Okay, discuss your observations with your classmates. You might observe from table 2.6 that plants and animals found in one kind of region are different from those found in another kind of region. During a discussion in the classroom, Alex recalls that he observed cactus plants with thick and fleshy stems in the deserts desert, sorry, yes, I always confuse with desert and desert. Deserts of Rajasthan. Maya says that seashore deodar trees in the Himalayas of Himachal Pradesh. These trees are conical in shape and have flexible and sloping branches. Okay, notice that these two types of plants found in different regions are different. Deodar, this is the deodar plant. Now we are moving towards the next page. Okay, let me settle down the camera on this page. Okay, from each other, yes, different from each other. Why it is so? Why does the biodiversity of a region vary from that of another? Let us find out. क्यों ऐसा क्यों होता है कि एक जगह का जानवर अलग है दूसरी जगह से? There is very little water available in the deserts. Okay, a hot desert is typically very hot during the day and very cold at night. Therefore you will find plants and animals in these areas that can tolerate and survive both the hot conditions during the day and cold conditions at night. The fleshy stems of plants found in desert can store water and help them tolerate the hot conditions in these places. The mountains is extremely cold regions experience frequent snowfall. In order to survive in such conditions, some of the trees have the ability to let the snow slide off easily. A conical shape and sloping branches of deodar trees enable them to do so easily. You must have understood by now that the biodiversity varies from region to region because of diverse conditions. Look at the images of a camel from the hot desert of Rajasthan and a camel from the cold desert of Ladakh. Look at the difference. What are the differences you observe between them? What advantages do these differences provide to these camels? Desert of Rajasthan and a cold area of Ladakh. Look at the figure. The camel of the hot desert has long legs with wide hoops. ये देखो hoops हैं इनके. Alex says that his grandmother told him that the long legs and wide hoops help these camels to walk on the sandy desert without sinking into the sand. On the other hand, the height and legs of camels of a cold desert are comparatively shorter than those found in a hot desert. These short legs allow them to walk easily in mountainous regions. Okay, now we are moving towards the next page. Okay, now in the next page, in deserts, food is not available easily. Camels store food in their humps. Camels found in the hot desert have one hump each that helps them to survive during the scarcity of food. Scarcity of food मतलब होता है भोजन की कमी. Wow. Camels found in the cold desert have two humps each. Okay, these two humps shrink in late winters because there is not much food available in the cold desert, and they have to use food stored in their humps during that time. Moreover, they grow long hair from head to neck, which help them survive the cold winters of Ladakh. Okay, what other features can help camels to survive in the desert? Other students also start sharing their observations. Sorry. Kasi from Rajasthan says that camels excrete small amount of urine. Okay, their dung is dry, dung matlab potty, and they do not sweat, as camels do not lose much water from their bodies. They can survive from for many days without drinking water. ठीक है, राजस्थान के कैमल ना ही ज़्यादा सुसु करते हैं, ना ही उनको पसीना आता है ज़्यादा. वाओ, look at the beauty of nature. Maya talks about seeing plants with beautiful bright flowers, rhododendrons in the Sola forest of Nilgiris. It can be asked in your exam. Okay, here rhododendrons are of shorter height and have smaller leaves to survive through the heavy winds on mountain tops. However, Pema, who is from Sikkim, mentions that she has observed rhododendrons in the nearby mountains to be taller. So, even plants such as rhododendrons may exhibit different features in different regions to survive the conditions of these regions. Look at the pictures, different feature of rhododendrons. Okay, now Sagar tells his classmates that he went to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands with his parents for a special event. He saw huge whales and colorful fish in the ocean. His father explained that the streamlined body of fish helps them to swim in water. Okay. Now we are moving towards the next page. Okay. We have learnt that the plants and animals living in a particular region have special features that make them fit to survive there. Okay, the special features that enable plants and animals to survive in a particular region are called adaptations. The shape of the deodar tree and the height of the rhododendrons are adaptations, okay, that enable them to survive in the mountainous regions. The place where plants and animals live is called their habitat. For example, the habitat of sea turtles is the sea or the ocean. The habitat of a camel is the hot or the cold desert. The habitat of a rhododendron is the mountains. The habitat of plants and animals provides them food, water, air, shelter, and other needs for their survival. Many types of plants and animals may share the same habitat. Okay, habitat plays an important role in shaping the biodiversity of a region. Okay, now see this. Noah scientist Salim Ali. Okay, he is a very famous, well-known scientist. Salim Ali travelled across India to observe diversity in birds. He prepared a list of birds and documented their travel routes and habitats. He recorded the regions with high diversity of birds and took measures to, to conserve their regions. Keola Dev National Park in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, and Ranga Thittu, okay, a Rangana Thittu bird sanctuary in Mandya, Karnataka sorry for pronouncing this. Karnataka are examples of regions he preserved. He wrote a landmark series of 10 books on birds of the Indian subcontinent. He is referred to as the Bird Man of India. He was awarded Padma Vibhushan in 1976. How beautiful this is. He's researched on birds. Now move to the next para. What are the different ways in which you can group plants and animals based on their habitats? One way is to group them into those that live on land and those that live in water. The plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitats. Some example of terrestrial habitats are forest, deserts, grasslands, and mountains. Okay, we are moving towards the next page. The plants and animals that live in water are said to live in aquatic habitat. पानी में रहेंगे उनको aquatic बोलेंगे. Some examples of aquatic habitats are ponds, lakes, rivers, and oceans. Some animals, such as frogs, can live in water as well as on land. These are called amphibians. मतलब पानी और ज़मीन दोनों पे रह सकते हैं. What would happen if the habitat of a plant or an animal is damaged? क्या होगा? What would happen if a goat does not get grass to eat? Can a fish survive without water? Check with your parents, grandparents, and neighbors to know about the plants, birds, insects, or any other animal they used to see frequently in their childhood, but do not see as often now. These changes often happen when habitats are damaged. The damage of habitats of plants and animals results in loss of their homes, food, and other resources. This leads to the loss of biodiversity. Now this para. The population of the Bengal tiger, cheetah, and great Indian bustard has declined in India due to loss of natural habitats caused by human activities. The government of India has initiated several projects to conserve our biodiversity. Project Tiger was initiated in 1973 to protect the declining population of the Bengal tiger. Look at the Bengal tiger. The cheetah reintroduction project was initiated in 2022 to restore the population of the cheetah. Similarly, habitats of the great Indian bustard have been declared as protected areas in the state of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. The great Indian bustard. Now the last and the next paragraph. Okay. Traditionally protected forest, scarred groups. Sorry, I haven't read for a decade. That is why I'm facing problem with reading. Okay. Sacred grooves are undistributed patches of forest. Their sizes may vary from quite small to very large. Sacred groves are found all over India. They are home to different kinds of plants and animals, including numerous medical plants. These are protected by the local community, and no one is allowed to harm any animals and cut trees in these groups or disturb the area. This way, sacred groves are a community protected treasure of biodiversity. Find out about the sacred groves in our region. ये रहा. We must protect biodiversity to ensure our plant is full of life, helping plants and animals to survive and thrive. So this is the end of the chapter. These are keywords. This is summary and let us enhance our learning. इसको भी पढ़ सकते हैं आप, ये सब पढ़िए, ठीक है, और try to solve the question answer if there is any. ओके, तो बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल चैप्टर था जिसको हमने फिनिश किया है. अब नेक्स्ट चैप्टर हम लोग पढ़ेंगे नेक्स्ट वीक. और वीडियो को देखते रहिए और अपना सुझाव भी दीजिए. सिर्फ देखिए नहीं, अपना सुझाव भी देखिए, बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो लर्निंग विथ यू. दैट इज़ वाई आई स्टार्टेड दिस वीडियो ओनली इन अ सिंपल वे टू रीड द चैप्टर्स. ओके, नाउ सी यू. बाय बाय. बाय बाय. बाय बाय.